And hey everyone, and welcome to a rather different IoT Live in that it's not live, so it's IoT recorded. This is going to be a little recording we're going to put out during July IoT, which is a Microsoft event all the way through July celebrating IoT. I'm actually going to be away on a holiday in July, so we'll probably put it out then just to satisfy your cravings for the missing show. If you joined us on Tuesday's episode, then you'll have seen us talk about the Azure Percept, which I unboxed live on the show. And in fact, if I switch across to my screen share, then this is the Percept that I unboxed on the show with what's called the carrier board here on the left, which is the processor unit, so an edge processing unit. And then in the middle, we've got the vision unit. They call them system on a module, SoM. And then on the right, we've got the sound unit, the sound module. So we got all of that working, and we got a basic vision model deployed, which I've done a bit of faffing with since. But the idea was that I could show it a hammer or a screwdriver, and it would recognize it. And in fact, if I switch across to my other browser window, then this is the live stream coming out of that camera that you can see. And if I get a screwdriver and hold that up, then it tells me that it's a screwdriver, or it will do in a second. Hello? I saw a screwdriver there a second ago. There we are, screwdriver. That's working. And if I show it a hammer, then it knows that's a hammer. So, and it should work at like certain angles as well, because I took quite a few photographs at it, various different angles, but it's not perfect because I didn't train it with lots and lots of images. So so I mean that gives you sort of the basic idea about what it was we did. It does get interference with the other things that are in it, but it should recognise like the Ocio cam up here as well. There we are, you see, so it's spotted the Ocio cam when I point at it, and it should also be able to spot bit. Just where is it, up here, that way, there we are, bits sort of popping out there, and also the worm just there. Should be able to spot that just about now. So yeah, it can sort of see they're a bit far away, that's all. So so I mean that's where we got to. So we trained a vision model. Now one of the things I wanted to do then was the sound. So we've not done the sound yet, and I also need to write a blog post around it. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm streaming this video, I'm also going to write a blog post. So it's be a little bit different, but I've already started the blog post. In fact, if I bring it down onto this screen, down here, and I'm just going to give my PC a bit of a boost in power because it's lagging a bit now. I'm also recording this in Camtasia on this main machine, so I can take any screenshots that I miss perhaps with trying to stream at the same time, or record at least at the same time. So anyway, scrolling back up to this, then this is Azure Percept Audio First Steps, and I'll just talk a bit about what the Azure Percept Audio device is, its specifications and the target industries here, and then some required Azure services. So we're going to need to use something called LUIS, Language Understanding Intelligent Service. I guess they didn't want to call it intelligence service because it might get mixed up with American agencies. But either way, that's what LUIS stands for, and that gives us a visual interface to be able to train AI audio models without any machine learning experience, which is quite cool. And this is what is going to allow us to be able to ask our device to do something in a contextual manner, which no doubt we'll see when we run through the samples. It's worth bearing in mind this will be my first time running through this as well, so it'll be interesting to see how we get on with this and what bumps I have to get over. But I thought it was a good thing to do. And then you've got the speech service after LUIS, and that allows us to create a wake command specifically for the device. So in the case of the demos and samples here, that is computer, just like in Star Trek. So that's what that is. So where we start out is there's some sample applications that we can use. So I've written a little bit about that, and that's as far as I've got because I want to record the whole process. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. So if I'm busy tapping on the other screen, then you'll know that I'm sort of adding in a bit to the blog. I may end up sort of chopping bits out of the video if it turn out that I'm writing more than I'm speaking. So there may be some cutscenes that I add into the video. We'll see how it goes. So that's the stream anyway. So we're pretty much done with that for now. And tell you what I could do is I might quickly pause the video and you can plug some speakers into this later on as well. So I'm not going to do that now. I'll do that when we come to that part, because I've got some speakers set up, so we can do that in a bit. But it'd be good to be able to capture that on the video when it comes to it. So let's see where we get to first, and then we'll go from there. So we can start in the Azure Percept Studio page here, where we're in the overview page, and that just gives you some information about AI models and some sample applications and some advanced tools, SDKs and downloads and things like that, which I'm hoping to do in another video and blog post as well. But if we go to demos and tutorials and then scroll down, we have the speech tutorials and demos, and then we could try out some voice assistant templates here. So if I click that view button, view link, then we get this pop out. Now I'm going to select my Percept hub that I created in the show last week, and that's automatically selected the only Percept device I've got registered in that hub, Percept 1. And then we can choose between some different sample applications. So we can choose hospitality, healthcare, inventory, and automotive. So I'm going to choose hospitality and then agree to those terms and then press create. And now we get to select our subscription and a resource group and an application prefix. So this is an ARM template, no doubt, and it's going to create us a bunch of services to do this. So I'm going to choose my Percept resource group, and I'm going to give this a, I'll call it PJG as the application prefix, just so we can get that working. And we can either choose West US or West Europe, interestingly. So not even North Europe, but West Europe for this one. So I'll choose West Europe because that's closer to me. We'll leave that as standard because I can't choose free for the Lewis prediction tier. So I'm going to take a little screenshot of that for my blog. Stick that in. There we go. And then I can click create at that point. If we just get rid of that. Come on, you can go. There we go. And then click create. And then it'll deploy the theme resources. So take a little screenshot of that. I don't know, sometimes the full screen sort of automatically re-full screens again, and sometimes it doesn't. I'm not quite sure why that is. But either way, it's working. I'm not sure how long this will take. It could take 2 to 4 minutes, apparently, to complete. So we've got that to wait. If I close this, actually, I'm just going to paste in that little image into my blog. There's a tutorial we can follow here. So create a voice assistant. And this is the tutorial, essentially, that I'm following. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There we go. So, yeah, creates a voice assistant from a template to use in our Azure Percept DK and Azure Percept Audio. So it runs with Percept Studio, which we saw again. So this is the front end to this device to allow us to interact with it. And it creates a voice assistant and necessary speech services. So I'm assuming, as I say, it'll create a Lewis instance and it'll create us a speech instance. So we need speaker or headphones look so that it can connect to 3.5mm audio jack. So let me just grab some speakers and I'll come back. I'll pause the video so that you're not waiting around. And I'm back. So I've managed to find some old speakers. So I've got them down here. Now there's an audio jack on the back. So I'm just going to plug that the speakers into that. There we go. So they're in. Now, what you'll also notice is that the LEDs have changed colour on here. So before that was just a static white single LED, and now they've changed to 3 LEDs. Now, I did find a web page earlier that explained what those different LEDs were. So let's see if, oh, here we are. So if I could somehow drag this window down here, then I can maximise that. So tell you what, hold on a minute, let me switch to this window. I'll drag it on there instead. Hello? Oh, there we are, it's done it. That's weird. I don't know why it's done that. Very odd. Anyway, Azure Percept audio button and LED behavior. So they're the buttons, but here's the LEDs. So we've got 3 blue static on. So it's actually waiting for a keyword at the moment, apparently, which is interesting. So it's not listening or speaking or thinking. So we'll leave this here for now. Oh, there it is. That's weird. Not quite sure why it did that. It was very odd. Look at that. Bug with full screen and tabs in Edge there. We'll leave that going. This is recognising my OcuCam. Sometimes it does this as well, look. I'm not quite sure why that is. But if you refresh the page, then it fixes itself. Interestingly, this webcam on, if I plug it into my main machine, this Logitech C920 that I've got, that does a similar thing. So I don't know if that's a problem with the video card in this Surface Book 3. It always seems to be that bottom portion of the screen as well. So interesting. Not sure why that would be, but either way, that is that. It seems perfectly stable on the Surface Pro. So 3 nice stable LEDs we have now. So that's finished, and now we've got this new hospitality dashboard here, if you will. So we've got a custom keyword, which I'm not going to say just yet, and a custom command, which is interesting. So I chose that prefix. I wonder if I should have chosen something a bit better as the prefix. I didn't actually look what that was doing, but I can change that if I need to. So I'm going to take a little screenshot of this. It's going to drag this up out the way over here so I can get a better size. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. And bring that back down on here. It does that same thing. Quite sure why. Very odd. So yeah, this is what the template's created. So this is like a mock room. Interesting. Look, it's kind of. I don't know if that's since I dragged it actually. Not sure why it's got that join in the middle. Anyway, that's fine. So I'm just going to paste that into my blog. That's pasting. That's great. So I guess now at this point we can click Get Started and see what this is about, or learn more. But let's have a look what the tutorial says. So we created a voice assistant, gone through the demo, and we've gone hospitality the same way that the tutorial is saying. An application prefix, enter a name as well, the prefix for your project, and the custom command name. So it's not even particularly clear here what that prefix is doing. Usually when you provision services, you need that prefix if it's an ARM template, because you have to have a unique name for your resources. So that prefix will give you that. So that's why I always choose PJG, like my company name, for instance. And then region, under lowest pricing tier, choose standard, and the free tier does not support speech requests, so that's fine. And then click the create button. We've done that. So although they choose LQ, look, although that's easier to say than PJG, that's just 2 syllables, and I've got 3 in mine. To interact with your voice assistant, say the keyword followed by a command. And so when the ear SoM recognises your voice, the device emits a chime, which you can hear if the speaker or headphones is connected, and the LEDs will blink blue. The LEDs will switch to a racing blue when your command is processed. The voice assistant's response to your command. I mean, I know I'm reading this out, but I'm reading this for the first time myself. So the default keyword is set to that word, which I'm not going to say yet. And each template has a set of compatible commands that allow you to interact with virtual objects in the demo window. So that's going to be quite cool. For example, if you're using the hospitality demo, you can say that word and then that to turn on the virtual TV. So, and hospitality and the healthcare demo keywords are here. So, all right, let's go back to this. So I'll do the demos on here first, and then I'll do a couple of them with the camera on so that we can see what the LEDs are doing. So computer.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
I'm assuming you can hear that coming out of the speaker. Computer, turn on the TV. Computer. I very much do feel like Scotty from Star Trek 4 because it's not quite recognising my voice for different reasons, because I'm not speaking into a mouse here. So I don't really want to try pronouncing this in American accent, because I'm hoping that's not the problem. I'm hoping that there's another issue. So computer. No, it isn't then. That would have been embarrassing, because I don't want to have to try and do an American accent all day. Oh. Like, it flashed the 3 LEDs there, weirdly. You wouldn't have seen that. Computer. Turn on the TV.
Okay, turning the TV on.
Well, that worked this time. And obviously we could hear when I said that command, that keyword rather, then we could hear it chime and the LEDs flash. So let me switch over to the actual device. Now I'm going to see if I can get the colour a bit better. It's not ideal. Let me see. If I get a piece of paper, maybe I might be able to improve that. Yeah, that's a bit better. You at least see those LEDs a little bit better now. So let's try that again now. Computer. Turn off the TV.
Okay, turning the TV off.
So you can see the LED flash pattern there now, which is quite cool. I'm just double checking that everything's recording, otherwise that would just be a bit sad. I'd have to do it all again. So yeah, that seems to work quite well actually. So if I go back to the page now, so the telly is off, and I'm just going to do that one more time just for screenshot's sake. Computer. Turn on the TV.
Okay, turning the TV on.
And there we go. So that seems to work quite well. So let me drag this back up here again. No, up here, please. Where are you going? Come on, you can do it. There we go. And I'll take a little screenshot of that for the blog. There we go. Down here. And then also I'm just going to take a little screenshot of the messages area as well. And I can put this back on this screen. There we go. So that seems to work quite well. So we might as well try some of the other commands here that we've got as well. So what did we say we had? So we've got turn off the TV, turn on the lights, the AC, the blinds, and set the temperature. Okay, so let's try some of those. I'm going to drag this up because I'm going to forget what they are. So I'm just going to actually I'll make a copy of this up here. There we go. So let's try a couple of those and see what they look like as well. I mean, it's not great at recognising my voice. Interestingly, I don't know if my English Midlands accent is confusing it or what, and it seems a bit slow as well. So not quite sure what that is, but we'll see what it does. So computer. Computer, turn on the lights.
Okay, turning all the lights on.
Oh, and the lights came on. Computer, turn on the AC.
Okay, turning the AC on.
Yeah, that's quite cool. They really should have put a little GIF animation in there with those bits all fluttering around. Would have been nice. We can't have everything. Computer, open the blinds.
Blinds already opened.
Oh, well, that's quite cool. So it does know that that we've got a contextual bit of information there. So it's storing the state of what these things are and using that in this demo. So that's quite cool. Computer, close the blinds.
All right, closing the blinds.
Did that do anything? I don't see anything happen in that. Computer, open the blind.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
No, you didn't, because you were slow. That's why. Computer, open the blinds.
All right, opening the blinds.
It did. It did do something in the far right-hand side. I think I was kind of expecting it in there, but that must be a mirror, I think, in the bathroom rather than blinds. So that makes a bit more sense. And then the last one was computer. Set temperature to 12 degrees.
Do you want to make it warmer or cooler?
Cooler.
Decrease temperature by 12 degrees.
So now that's at 58. So I'm assuming that was at 70 before. I should have remembered that, but I didn't. Oh, in fact, I can look at my screenshots I took earlier. It was at 70, yeah. So that makes sense. So that's quite cool. But that command didn't work. And what's great about this is, I mean, I've used the Alexa and I've done quite a few skills for the Alexa, and this is quite like the Alexa skill testing, development interface that you get there, where you can interact with it directly and you can see what it thinks you said. So computer, set temperature to 12 degrees. Now,
do you want to make it warmer or cooler?
Warmer.
Raise temperature by 12 degrees.
That's gone back to 70. That was an accident, obviously, but I mean, it demonstrated the point that set temperature to X degrees didn't work, did it? So perhaps they've updated something in this. And I said that exact same thing, set temperature to X degrees. That's exactly what I've put, isn't it? It's computer. Cancel. Yeah, computer cancel. So that works as well, cancel, which you would hope it would. Yeah, that's cool. So that's quite cool. So that seems to be working really well. What does the rest of the tutorial say we can do? So there's an automotive demo and an infantry demo as well. So I mean these are all going to be just contextualized versions of exactly the same thing, just with different trained commands in there. And I guess the keyword to wake it up is going to be the same as well, where we can add and remove boxes. I mean, should we try it just in case they've got all of them in and they just let's see what it does. What is it? Order X boxes. Let's see. Computer. Order 12 boxes.
I'm not sure what you meant by that.
So that's good. So they programmed it with exactly the right commands that work with this particular demo. So I didn't know whether or not it was one of these things where they just programmed it with everything and we're just using the right ones that happened to suit this. So that's cool. Well, kind of what I expected. I don't know whether or not I'm going to go through all of those, but we can configure our own keyword look. So yeah, we'll do that. You can customize a keyword for your voice assistant. You can click change next to custom keyword. So let's do that. So if I scroll back up again, in fact, there we look. You can get plus create custom keyword. Oh, it's there as well. So we can. It's just because I'd scrolled that way. So if I'm going to, I can do it either with those two ways, but I'm going to click the change button here. What do we set it to? I'm going to do IoTeaLive just because, you know, context. Oh, no, I can't. I have to choose the ones that they've got selected. What's this say? Keyword is a word. Short phrase allows the product to be voice activated. For example, that one is the keyword for Cortana, and voice activation allows users to start to interact with the product. So we can't program our own one in there, which is a bit of a shame, but we'll do it anyway. So I'll take a screenshot of that for the blog. And well, we'll go with this. We'll go with Abigail, I think. I quite like Abigail. And we'll save that. And now that should work. So, Abigail. 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 Turn on the lights.
All lights already on.
So that worked. It knew. So, computer. 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 I mean, it's not a massively positive test, is it? Because it wasn't responding all that well before, but actually that wasn't too bad. So, and just for clarity here, Abigail. Abigail. Turn off all the lights.
Okay, turning all the lights off.
So that was the LED flash pattern that it was doing there. So just thought I'd show that while I was doing that. And there's all the lights off again. Look. So yeah. So we can change the custom keyword. I mean, custom command will obviously be the next thing that we can do. So we can create a custom keyword. So that's what we did. I see. Okay. So we changed it to the prefixed ones, or we can create a custom one here. Okay. So that's the difference here. So we can create a custom keyword. So let's take a screenshot of that. There we go. So let's do... See, I'm not sure. IoTeaLive's not a very good one, is it? We need probably... Shall I just use my name, Peter? No, let's make it funny. I'm going to choose Cliff, my co-host and pilot extraordinaire. Speech resource is already there, and English United States is as close as we get. So the keyword will be Cliff. I wonder if it'll let me have that as a capital C. Yeah, well, it's still got a tick, so that's fine. I'll just have a little... just for completeness. So there we go. Click create. So this training can take up to 30 minutes, and well, I'm recording this and it's live, so I mean I'll probably be able to chop some of this out when it comes to it. So I'll go ahead and do this and see what this does. So training your keyword Cliff. This step could take up to 30 minutes and you will receive a notification when the training is complete. Interestingly, I was expecting to have to train that myself. Oh, number of syllables not within range. Okay. So I'll take a screenshot of that. So we can't have that. So it needs to be more than one syllable. Which is interesting when you think of like things like Alexa, so that's got 3, and we had Abigail. Computer was 2, so I'm guessing please choose between 2 and 40. Yeah, 2 is fine. 40 syllables. 40. That's going to be a lot of syllables. I suppose, you know, it's possible though. I mean, if you think of, you know, disestablishmentarianism, there's a fair amount in that, and that massive big long station name in Wales maybe. So okay, so we can't do Cliff, so we could do Clifford, no, couldn't we? So let's do that. Clifford. Create. So it could take up to 30 minutes. Ah, okay. What? Custom keyword created. Try deploying your keyword now. Oh, maybe we need to change it then at that point. Let's have a look what the instructions say. In fact, before I do that, I need to take a screenshot of that part too. Oh, I mean, it's annoying that just doesn't disappear sometimes. So there we go. So I'm guessing I need to click change on here. Oh, and there it is. So I'm guessing that names there'll be pre-trained models for names, and that's why that was fast. But if we were to choose that IoTeaLive, which I'm going to do next just to see what it does, then it would probably take longer. So I can click save on that. Custom keyword change. So Clifford. Turn off the lights.
All lights already off.
That worked really well. So I forgot to do that. There we are. Take a screenshot of that part of the process. Worked really well. And then this one. I might not use all these screenshots in the actual blog, but oops. But I've got them then anyway, so that worked. So that was cool. So now it's responding to Clifford. Turn on the lights.
Okay, turning all the lights on.
So yeah, that works really well. I mean, it is slightly disconcerting that we now have a female's voice responding to Clifford. I'm wondering if it was going to get it. It seems as though perhaps when it's part of a conversation, if you say the word Clifford as part of a conversation, it doesn't always pick that up, which is good because you kind of want it to be a word on its own. But I'm pretty sure that I used computer as part of that, but maybe I had a pause. I'm not sure, but you can see here now that we had Abigail and Clifford, so we're able to say Abigail and Clifford in. Oh, I see.
How much do you want to change the temperature by?
Well, that's interesting.
By how many degrees?
Cancel. 10.
Do you want to make it warmer or cooler?
Cooler.
Decrease temperature by 10 degrees.
So that was interesting because look at that. Well, that's interesting. By how many degrees? But that's what we said there. So we're able to say, and it seemed to think that the closest thing to that was we want to change the temperature. Seemed quite far away to me, but this is how machine learning models kind of work with inference there, and best match. So perhaps anything over about 50% or something works for that. And it was just kind of close enough, maybe. So that was cool, and that all seems to work quite well. But I'm guessing the next thing we can do is create a custom command. So we've done this custom keyword to be able to wake it up. Now, the portal also provides functionality for creating custom commands with existing speech resources. First, the voice assistant application itself and not a specific command within the existing application. By creating a custom command, you're creating a new speech project, which you must further develop in Speech Studio. Okay, that's interesting. To create a new custom command from within the demo, click Create Custom Command, enter a name, enter a description, select your preferred language, speech resource, Lewis resource, click Create. Once you've created a custom command, you must go to Speech Studio for further development. Okay, well, I think we'll do that because that sounds like fun. So let's do that, shall we? So create a custom command. And then the obligatory screenshot. I just put a little heading in above my screenshot there because it's different sections so I can remember what I'm doing. Custom command, that's fine. So enter a custom command. Does it give you like an idea of what a custom command could be? Enter a name for your custom command. See, is this the name, the invocation name? I'm guessing it is. And there's no little hint to tell you what that should be. So I guess we'll learn together. What should we do? Play music, shall we? Play music. It must be alphanumeric. Well, no spaces then, hey? So that tells me that it's not the actual thing I'm going to say then. This is just the name for this particular project. So, all right, so can I do capitals just without spaces? I can. Play music. Plays music. English United States. Speech resources, the only one I've got. Lewis resource, the only one I've got. And Lewis authoring resources, the only one I've got. So hovering over the speech resource for the custom command projects. Lewis authoring resource for custom commands project. See, I think somebody's copy and paste errored there. That should just say Lewis resource because that's the authoring resource. So that probably wants fixing. And then these are the only ones I've got. So we can leave those as it is. We can create new ones if you like. Did it say to do that? Let's be sure. No, we can go ahead and use what's there. So I can click create. And creating our custom command. Take a little screenshot of that. So it's doing that now. Custom command created. Try out the custom command play music -speech. Well, we can't because it doesn't do anything at the moment. Because apparently we need to open up Speech Studio. So let's do that in another tab. And sign in. Probably should have taken a screenshot of that. But let's do a screenshot of this first, because I think I've got Speech Studio. Yeah, I've already got that on the page here. So I'm just moving windows around so I could take a screenshot of Speech Studio where I've not signed in. So the blog post makes sense. Otherwise, I'll just have to do that. I quite like when I make my blog posts. I like to have the step-by-step stuff on there and not miss great pieces out, because the number of blog posts I've been to that just assumes you can do that part, even though signing in is fine. You'd imagine that's fine, but I'd rather have the steps, because if you miss them out, people could, cognitively can get a bit disorientated, and I don't like that. I sort of like to see every step as it goes, which is why I tend to prefer video tutorials actually over blog posts. I know there are heaps of people out there would far rather just zip through a blog post and just get it done, but often a blog post, as I say, will miss out bits, and I find that, as I say, a bit disconcerting when I'm doing that. So that's why I was doing that. So get started. So now we've got Speech Studio and speech to text, real-time speech to text, custom speech pronunciation assessment. That's quite cool. Voice gallery, custom voice, audio content, and then voice assistant, custom keyword, and custom commands. Now, my command isn't appearing on here automatically, interestingly. So recent projects, I'm guessing you don't look, so you don't have any here, so I'm guessing that should be in there. I'll take a little screenshot of that just so that we can figure out what this problem is and I can explain it. I'm going to tell you what I'll try as well. Let me just take a few more of these as well. These bits. For posterity, voice assistant. And what I'll try is I'll try refreshing the page and just see if it's just a timing thing. And then some learning resources at the bottom. So let's try an F5. Right, so I did mention this. What's down here? Oh, and the left-hand menu, and as a pressure select speech under AI projects, select the commands tab. Okay, so need to go back to Percept Studio, and then right, let's do that. Percept Studio, and then speech on the left, and then commands. Right, okay, and I'm guessing it's going to tell me to. Oh, there we are. So now they've listed. So let's take a little screenshot of that. Stick that in there. What does it say now? To do. Oh, okay. So and select the custom command you wish to develop, and this opens the project in Speech Studio. Okay. Let's do that, shall we? That's this one, play music speech. It's loading. So, I mean, this is, to me, it looks slightly different, but maybe, I was expecting it to look slightly different to that. This looks like a portal version rather than a project version, but perhaps that's what this looks like. So, screenshot time. So that's fine. So what did it say to do next? Oh, okay, so now I need to go to the speech service documentation to be able to do this bit. Applications such as voice assistants, blah, 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 custom commands make it easier, of course. If you're interested in building complex conversational apps, I encourage you to try Bot Framework instead. Bot Framework's dead cool. I've done some stuff with that. Was primarily actually with the Q&A bot, which is a slightly simplified bot framework. I know my good friend Gosha Borcheska, she's done quite a lot with the bot framework. So I'd ask her any questions on that. Authoring flow. So looks like we've got custom commands and then Lewis on that side and custom command service here, the developer, an application, and the voice input output. So that kind of makes sense. So create or update your custom commands app through the custom commands builder. Probably, I'm hoping this is not going to take ages and ages and ages, but I mean, this isn't sort of first look anymore. This is, I'm sort of straying off the first look of audio, so the first steps. So I reckon that this is actually going to be a second blog post. I'll probably split this and do this as a second blog post. But I think we can carry on doing that on this particular video. It's fine. So I'm going to save this and then I'm going to make a copy of it. And then can I duplicate that from here? Probably not, no. So I need to go back to my WordPress. I'll make a copy and then I'll carry on with this blog post as a second one. Posts. You can't see what I'm doing here, of course. All you can see is this. But it's fine. So I'm going to make a clone of this. It'll only be a couple of seconds. And I say I might cut this out of the video entirely, or I might not. So go into this one. Azure Percept Audio, custom commands. Yeah, cool. So I can carry on from the bottom of this now. I'm not going to get rid of all of the stuff above it because I'm going to have to sort of do an intro anyway. So building voice commands, there's actually a video to watch here, but I'm not going to watch that. Quick starts, create custom commands app. How to, guys, develop and customize custom command apps. Let's have a quick look at that one. So we're not creating an application, so I'm wondering now what the purpose of what we're doing is. Well, let's have a quick look at what the interface is showing us here. So provide example sentences or phrases of how a user would activate your command. So this is very much like what you do with Alexa and Alexa skills. So help me, blah, blah, blah. So I can get rid of those. So it could be turn on the music, turn music on, turn on music, oops, turn the music on, turn the music on, turn music on. Let's do turn the, we call it a stereo over here as well. Turn the stereo on. Turn on the stereo. It's a very, very British term, I think, that. Play some music. Play me some music. There's going to be a fair few of these. Play music. Play the music. So there's a few different things. So these commands are used to train it. So that's fine. I can live with that. So I click save. You can start sentences with that to add comments. You can also add parameters by adding the name of a parameter within curly braces. Yeah, and again, that's very Alexa skillsy. Where your date parameter is the name of a parameter defined in parameters, which is there. So we've clicked save. Once I've done that, so another screenshot of that. Now we can hit train. So that will no doubt train our model. So let's click train and see what that does. I've got no idea how long the train will take. Well, that finished. Okay. I didn't get a notification for that, but we now have got test and publish available to us. Which is good. So I'm guessing we can do test. Let's test that. Publish in progress for testing. Okay. Test your application. So let's have a screenshot of that. Screenshot of everything, basically. That's what we should do here. So that I can pick and choose which of these images I want to use. So this is so. I know in the Alexa training one, and I refer to this quite regularly, Alexa, because that's my only other experience of doing anything like this. So I can only take it back to what I know in there. But in that environment, you can actually use the PC mic to test the application. So they need to be doing that, really, if you ask me. We can turn on the details, so that's good. So you can actually see what it thinks is going on. So let's try this.
Add your fallback message here.
Interesting. So I'm not quite sure what that's telling me there. Turn details, complete fallback message, rules executed on required default response, expected commands. I mean, turn on music. Did I actually put that as one of the commands I typed in there? Turn on music. Yes, I did. Turn on music. Maybe I need a capital T, but I can't see why that would be. In advanced entities, intents. Yeah, so intent. That sounds fallback command. So it definitely didn't recognize it. I'm guessing that the fallback command is if it can't understand what you're saying. So click turn details, that just brings out this information here. So I'll take another screenshot. See, taking these screenshots is actually quite useful for developing this as well, because you know what you've done. You can scroll back up again. So add your fallback message here. So fallback command. So these are example sentences, but on the left here, I'm in fallback command. So to me, that I've skipped a step here. I mean, I probably should just follow the instructions. That would have been better, but I quite like just figuring out these things on my own. So I'll take a copy of that. And if I Control and Z all the way back out of all of that, I'm going to save that again. And I think I need to create a new command. That's what I need to do. I'm just going to train that. But surely my fallback command then included the command I just trained. Which doesn't make sense. So I'll leave that as it is. So I'm going to create a new command here. I'm going to call it no spaces, turn on music. Create. So example sentences was all of that lot. I can save that. Don't forget the screenshots. So turn on music, turn music on, turn on music, all of those lots, turn the music on. So let's save that one. More screenshots. Screenshots of everything. Completion rules done. Don't know, I'm going to save this first and we'll come to that one. So that's saved. Completion rules done. Completion rules will run when all conditions are met. Okay, well, I guess that's if we've actually made it do something. So back to example sentences. Let's do train on that one. Training. Oh, this notification is public application concern. Publish application. Yeah, okay. So that one's done. So let's just do another screenshot. I might have to delete those first ones for the actual blog because I messed up, I think. So that's fine. Hello, come on. There we are. So let's do test on that one. So it's noticed music, interestingly. So highlighting those, you get turn and play. So it's highlighting all of those, which is interesting. So it's a little screenshot of just that bit. Which is fine. So I've trained it. So now let's click test. So publishing application for testing. So add your fallback message here. So I think that's showing us the same testing environment that we had before. Go full screen again. Thank you. So let's try that again. Turn on music. So that was different, wasn't it? So let's have a look at this. Command, turn on music. So, and turn, of course, we're confusing the situation a little bit because we're using turn, but turn it was the computer's turn. It was that sort of turn. So it got turn on music and the status was complete. I was expecting a response back to say the music is on, and maybe that's what that extra section was for there. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of this as well because that actually worked, which was cool. So that was cool, but it didn't respond. So that's probably this done here, isn't it? Name is done, add condition, add an action. Select a type, send a speech response. Oh, okay. So let's just go back to this, take a screenshot. Half of this video will be me saying, take a screenshot. But it's fine. You can live with that. So we can click add an action. Let's drop that down first and then do a screenshot. Excuse me. Oh, adding an action makes me sneeze. So let's paste that in there. Send a speech response. Simple response can be separated into multiple lines. So now, of course, all we're doing at this point in time is turning the see, we could have parameters here of on and off. Let's not worry too much about that because that's sort of a level on from this. So the music was turned on. But I'm betting that with this response we can bring in the parameter that we've got set as well. So we could perhaps upgrade it to that. Let's do this. Type, simple response, LG template and earcon. Now I don't know what any of those things are. LG template, used to create multiple variations in your speech response. Oh, okay. So I'm guessing that's so that it just doesn't say the same thing over and over again. It can say one of many different things. Whereas this one will just, simple response can be separated into multiple lines. Not sure what that means. And then earcon, success or error. So, yeah. I'm going to choose simple response and click save for that. So send speech response, the music was turned on. So that's cool. Let's do that. And then we save that. And then train when it's finished. And we'll be able to test that again, and we should theoretically get a response back. Obviously, what might do is it might come out of the speakers of the PC, of course, not going to come out of this. I think we did get some form of a speech response before, didn't we? So, publishing application for testing. So I'm going to open up this again. Go away. Go away. I can't get rid of that. I can click that though. Oh no, it's gone now. So let's try that again. So turn on music. Let's see what that does.
The music was turned on.
Ah, oh, we got the speech response that we've added there. So that was quite cool. I liked that. I'm going to take a screenshot of that anyway. I probably won't need that one because that's the same as it was before. So that's cool. I liked that. But as I say, that command now, if I want to do turn the music off, then that's going to be a whole extra command. Well, really, these should be parameters of on and off. The rest of it's the same, and then it should know whether the music is already on, a bit like with the lights demo that we had there previously. So let's see if we can improve this now to be parameterized. And we're doing all of this without looking at the docs, but it's actually relatively straightforward, isn't it? So interestingly, there we are. So we can add parameters up here. So let's take a screenshot of that. And a parameter. Parameters. Move that up. There we are. So that's fine. So let's add a parameter. And then we get a parameter name. that. And we'll call this on-off. And then create that. So this command actually wants to change its name as well. I don't know if we can do that. But it's fine. And this is required. So when a parameter is required, we need to configure a response to ask for its value. So default response of on-off. Would you like to turn the music on or off? And there's other LG templates, so you can mix it up and mix and match there too. So let's do that. And I'm guessing that this is what it'll just spit out if you don't give it the parameter. So let's update that. So that's fine. And then select the type of parameter. Oh, well, we'll have to choose string, won't we? I was hoping there'd be Boolean in there because this is sort of Boolean, isn't it? But it'll have to be string. Default value, optional default value for the parameter. I'm not going to give it one of those. Configuration, accept full input, accept predefined input values for the internal catalog. Let's try that and see what that does. Select a predefined input. Actually, let's leave it as none for now. I'll take my screenshot. So that's fine. String optional. So accept full input. What's that give us? Nothing. Accept predefined input values from internal catalog. Let's see what that does if we select that. Aliases, name of element. I see. Now we're coming a little bit out of what I understand these things to be doing. So let's have a look at simple commands. Let's have a look what this is doing here. Add a turn on command. Oh, this is similar, isn't it? Turn on the music, we did turn on. Turn on the TV, okay, turning on the TV. So this is what we did. Adding example sentences, turn on the TV. Add a completion rule, we did that too. Select save. Add a set temperature command. So this one will have a parameter, won't it? Send speech response simple over first variable. Okay, set the temperature to 40 degrees. Huh. So this example here is literally set it to 40 or nothing, I'm guessing. Add a set alarm. Confirmation response. Try it out. So all of that lot is just the exact same thing. Configure parameters for the turn on command. Here we are. Now that the command will handle both on and off, rename this command to turn on off. In the panel of turn on command, select the new command. Oh, really? Oh, then next to new command at the top left pane. Okay, so should be able to do that. Exactly what I wanted to do, in fact, not speech. In here. Oh, there, so rename command. Why is that not down here? Next to the command. That should be down there, surely. Let me... I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to just have a look what we need to do for this parameter to get on and off working in there. Add a new parameter for the command at the top. Select add. So we did that. And parameters and add on off. Very similar. Select required in the add response, which is what we've done. In the add response for required parameter, select simple editor in the first variable. So in the add response for a required parameter window. Is that what this is? Oh, okay. Yeah, we did that, didn't we? Let's have a look. Yeah, add response for required parameter. Did that. I've got a screenshot of that. How my memory doesn't work. So I did that one. So what's it say to do now? And then click update. So we did that. Configure the parameters properties. Is global unselected? Don't think we've got that, have we? No, we've not got it. Is global. Interestingly. Might be the sort of project that we're doing. Required selected. Unless that's at the top, is it? No. No, it's not. Okay, never mind. Required selected. Response required parameter. Simple editor. On or off. A prompt asking for the value of its known parameter when it's asking. Response for required parameter. Simple editor. On or... Oh yeah, which is what we did. That was the response. That would you like to turn the music on or off? So we did that. It's just mixing it up. Type string, so that's good. Configuration, accept predefined input values from internal catalog. That's what I thought. For strings, this setting limits inputs to a set of possible values. So that makes sense for what we want to do there. So string, accept predefined values from an internal catalog. We did that, which is fine. So I'll take a screenshot of that. Just there. Change that to that. And then predefined values, input values are on and off. Obviously, same as what we were doing. So add a predefined input. So name of the element, on or off. And aliases on and off maybe. So is that right though? Is that what they want? To add predefined value, let's have a look. String. I think you've got to add. Right, you've got to add one per utterance there. So this is going to be on. Let's get rid of that second line. Error cannot use the values. Cannot use that the value as an alias. Oh, okay. So just on. Oh, I see. So I could have had, I don't know, something as an alternative. So off. Create. I imagine. So let's just have a look. Let's see if we're doing that right. Add a predefined. And the new item window type name is shown in the preceding table. In this case, you're not using aliases, so just use this field blank. Read the instructions, Pete. So that's fine. Required. So it should look like that. Optional default is blank. On and off, which is fine. Although I capital O and capital F, I'm not sure that'll make any difference, but I am going to do that as I've got it there, just in case it does make some odd difference. And in fact, what I didn't do there was take a screenshot of that. Tell you what I'll do, I'll cheat, because that should say new item. I'll stick that in there for my blog. There we go. And they're on and off, so that's fine. Can live with that. Select save to save all the configurations as a parameter. I keep going to this wrong page. Save. So it's going to save that. And I also want to rename this as well. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of that bit. Rename command. It's funny that, I mean, me sort of faffing my way through it has actually followed the tutorial. I mean, I think I'd just skip the step of renaming and everything if I was to do this all again. But I'll do it anyway. So turn on music. So turn music on off is what I'll call that. And the screenshot, of course, obligatory. And by the way, this blog post will be available on the IoT community blog site and also on my own blog page, petecodes.co.uk. So you'll be able to, if you don't want to watch the whole video of me faffing trying to do this, then you can just go and read the blog post instead and get the bits you need out of that. So So that's fine. Rename my command. Just going to move that up. There we are. And that was all creating parameters. That's fine as well. Cool. I'm just looking through my images and make sure I'm going to know what they are. So I can click save to that. And now my command has been renamed. Which is fine. So what does it say to do next? I'm guessing that we need to save and train this thing. Save. Hello? Why is that not saving? Just old notifications. Oh, it won't save it on that page, weirdly. Turn on the music. So now these aren't right, so I'm guessing that we'll need to change these example sentences personally. Add a subject device parameter. To add a second parameter to represent the name of the devices that can be controlled using this command. Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to do that because we're doing music, but now we need to modify the example sentences. So turn on off. So this is where we're going to use that parameter. So I called mine on off, I think, didn't I? On off. So turn, and then we can do on off in there. Turn the music on off. Turn on off. So you get the idea here. I'm going to get rid of that and that and that and that because they don't actually fit this structure now anymore. Although I could probably put them back because we could have a default of on, and if it doesn't get it, then play me some music will work. So perhaps we'll try that, but for now we'll leave it like that, and I'll save that, and I'll train it. And how long have we been going? We've been going for, I don't know, an hour and a quarter now, pretty much. So, not bad. I think probably when I've got this, I'll go back and try that default after this and make sure that works. And then at this point, I want to try putting that onto here. But I'm not sure what it'll do. So it kind of will be a voyage into the unknown at this point, I think, because. Well, I don't see the instructions being there for it at the moment, so that'll be good. My blog post will be the instructions from that point on. So we can test that now. Let's do that. Test. Publish in progress for testing. So expand this again. So we can say turn on the music.
The music was turned on.
So that's great. Now, but I think what's going to happen is that if I turn off the music, it's going to say it's turned on. So that's not going to be quite right. So we'll see what that does. But it knew about that. So if I go to advanced, interestingly, I don't see maybe the activity editor, but what I don't see in that list of things there is the my parameter. I would have thought that it would tell me what my parameter was, because that on off should be my parameter, but it still recognised the sentence. Let's try when it turn off the music. See what that does.
The music was turned on.
Yes, I mean I expected that. Because, well, I've not told it to do that, so that was interesting. So let's close out of this. I'll go away, top header. There we are. And that said it was published. So, done. Can I put a parameter in there? So I can. Let's save that. And we need a screenshot. Otherwise, never happened. And save that. So that's done. And we can save that. And then we can train it. Now I'm wondering whether or not I forgot to train it before. I don't think I did. I think I trained it and then I tested it. So that trained successfully. Now we can test and it should publish. And let's get that out. I'm curious as to why we didn't get... Oh look, see, rules executed internal on required parameters. So on. Oh, I wonder if this will say... It didn't say off though, did it? Turn off. So that's not what that means. So it's not telling us what those actual parameters are, which I think they're missing a trick. So let's try that again. So turn on the music. This should get the on anyway, because that's what it was before.
The music was turned on.
Music was turned on is fine. And what about now? Turn off the music.
The music was turned off.
And there we are. So we got the parameter result correctly in that one because we'd added it. But it should, I think really for completeness, it should tell you what your parameters are that it's picked out there, because when you're debugging this and if you've got multiple parameters, I guess, then this could be, if you can even have multiple parameters, then this would be quite complicated, I think, to try and debug what it was doing. Yeah. Not so sure about that. See, it just says rules executed on required parameters. Doesn't tell me what. So expected. What is this? So expectations. Shouldn't that be in there? Shouldn't it have the parameters in there? That's where this should be, isn't it? Expected commands and expected parameters. So there's obviously some sort of a bug in this testing in speech, if you ask me. They should be listed in there. Not sure. Maybe it doesn't show it in this tester, but what's the point then if that's the case? Don't know. But that's done. So I'm guessing we need to publish it now. So let's have a look what it says. So you can have multiple parameters, look. It's talking about it there. And then, yeah, modify the completion rules. Who would have known? Select save. When training finishes, test your application when the window. So we did that. Configure parameters for a set. Yeah, so I mean we could do that, but we don't need to do any more, I don't think. Add configurations to command. In this section you can learn more advanced. Configure a parameter as an external catalog entry. I don't think we need to do all of this lot. What I want to do is see how we publish it, or if we need to do anything. Oh, add custom voice and everything. There's some quite cool stuff, but I think we're going to go way above and beyond what we need to do here. So, all right, well, I'm going to click publish because there's nothing obvious for me there. So I'm going to click publish there. Publishing application in process, in progress. Up there. There we are. To use your... Oh. To use your application from the Speech SDK, enter the custom queue as application ID and speech resource ID. Well, we'll see what this does. I'm not quite sure. Did this give us any hints? So voice assistant was created. Clean up the resources. So I need to do that. Delete resources, next steps. So, okay, so, oops. So that's successfully published. I don't really want to delete that, but it doesn't matter. So what have we got in settings here? Does that have interest? Lewis, custom keywords, custom voice. So there's the application ID and the resource key, which is good. I don't want to be showing that now, just in case. Lewis resources, custom keywords, custom voice. It's all good. So turn music on and off. Web endpoints is there. So okay, so let's go back to here. So we can assign this play music speech, I guess, to our device at this point. Because I'm betting that it won't be at the moment. It'll be this PJG speech, which was that sort of hospitality demo that they'd created for us. So I'm going to click this assign button. Assign. Deploy to device. Select my Percept Hub 1 and my Percept. And more screenshots. And then click Save. So try out your custom command play music speech. So that was quite quick. Is that finished? Hello? Everything's gone really slow for some reason, not quite sure why. Stick that up here. Save. Oh no. Oh, it's because it's not on full screening. There we are. So that should have done it, I guess. So we're not going to see anything on the screen, I wouldn't have thought. Although you never know. Where is it? I forget where I put it now. Is it? Oh, it's because we came out of it essentially, didn't we? Oops. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So, I wonder how do we get back to that page? Where is it? What did we do? We came out of that. Darn it. I'm assuming that if I click on this, it's going to take me to the... Oh, is it? Or is it going to take me to the template? Or Speech Studio? No, it's going to take me to Speech Studio. I was hoping that... so, I mean, there's the internals of that, which is quite cool. So we can actually look at that. So turn on and off, greetings, open, close. So that's quite cool. So you can actually see how that is working under the hood there. But a little bit frustrating that I can't. Tell you what I can do though. I wonder, can I have a look at my history and get back to it that way? Not sure. I'm not going to spend too much time if I can't. Yeah, I think the only way to do it is to recreate it. Okay, so let's not bother. So I just want to see, theoretically now, I've actually assigned that command to my device. So if I switch to this, Clifford. Clifford, play the music.
Add your fallback message here.
Oh, didn't do that one then, did I? I took it out. Clifford. 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 Turn the music on.
The music was turned on.
Ah! Clifford. Turn the music off.
The music was turned off.
Ah, there we go. So it did deploy and our command worked and it was contextualized. So that was cool. I like that. That seemed to work quite well. Obviously, you know, at that point, you're into then programming some edge modules on this board to on the carrier board to be able to then, you know, interact with things, play some actual music, I guess. Should get it to do like Cortana does and la 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 us a song or something. But no, I think we've been through enough of that process there to prove that works. I quite like that. So yeah, all right. I think I'll leave this there. I think I've done enough. Obviously, I've got to go and fill out my whole blog post now. I'll probably add in videos from this that I've recorded to get that to work properly. But yeah, I think that's quite cool. I quite like that. So yeah, I'll basically follow me on Twitter at Pete_codes if you don't already, and you'll see the link to the blog post during July OT come out there. So, all right, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.